your games there, didn't you, as well?
I went.
It is different.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Sorry.
Peter went. Your whole family went.
Peter was working down there. Yeah.
It is different, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah. When we went, they had a little special offer on where you got something like 4 free beers just for going, and you had to pick them, which was nice. You had to pick them up on the field next to it, but there was just like a table out of a school, just with a woman giving you a piece of paper. Very bizarre. That also doubled up as
it felt like if it had a much smaller size club feel to it. It felt similar to when I used to go and watch the Blackpool Panthers at Fylde Rugby Union Club. So that was watching a third tier side at a non-professional rugby union sized ground. Different type of stadium.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we're going to finish with Always in Our Shadow, who effectively went through all of the clubs in the Super League. So we're going to get a mention for everyone here. So I'll give them. I'll read through them all, and then I'll just ask if people agree or disagree with what's been said. So for Castleford, he said, old-fashioned, needs a lick of paint and big improvement to toilets, unable to cope with a decent crowd. Tightness ensures a good atmosphere. Everyone happy with that? Big improvement to toilets needed?
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be a good start.
Oh, he hasn't done Catalans, but Huddersfield. Soulless place with a cowbell.
Yeah, probably, yeah, right.
Hull FC, too big for purpose unless the six-fingered cousins come across the river. Great atmosphere for a derby, but can suffer from the mute button if losing. Everyone agree with every part of that statement, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
No.
Hull KR, nice shiny new stand at one end, desperately needs the Zeebrugge end sorted out. Zeebrugge is a town in Belgium, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Old-fashioned popular side stand can generate a lot of noise, just seldom performance on the pitch merits it.
Yep.
That stand is one of the stands where you do feel like you get a good crowd atmosphere, and it must be intimidating for opposition and referees. That stand, that Tom you stand in.
On its day, it's very loud, but like the K come at the minute, a bit flat.
Leeds.
Of course it's flat, but he's been there for 2 months.
This is not
At least
falling
I
apart
got
anymore.
the floodlights back.
Floodlights sort.
Leeds. Always get piss wet through here. I hate the fucking band.
Yep.
Salford. No crowd, no atmosphere.
Yeah, see, I've only been to the AJ once, but I was stood with the Salford fans, and as you said, Mark, there is a bit of noise when they get going. But I can understand if you're in a quieter part of the stadium, you might not experience that.
I'm gonna say I really like Salford's ground, and I think it's really shit that there's not more people there at the games, because I really like going to that stadium. I've always liked it ever since it first opened.
I like it, but then I've got a real soft spot for Salford, so maybe I'm biased.
If there was more people there, I'd like it, but in there, don't like it, Cam.
Fair enough. St Helens, one of the better new grounds, stadium a nice size, just need the Scousers to find a different shout from forward.
Yep.
Wakefield, shithole of the first order, no facilities, no view, no future.
I think that was neatly summarised what we've said all night.
Another ground spoilt by a fat boy with a drum. Nice mix of standing and seating. Pity about the fat boy with the drum. And then Wigan, he's not really talked about the stadium. He said, the Pie Dome is a great place to win as the bastards think they've got a God-given right. Love hearing them moan when going back over the bridge of the River Pie. We haven't really talked about the DW, I suppose, massively, but what you guys have said about the KCOM echoes with the DW, it's too big most of the time. It's brilliant when it's got the big games, and thankfully we've had quite a few big games at that stadium, but it's crap when there's no one there. It really is.
I have to. I think it's for me it's the worst example of the new stadiums in terms of it doesn't have anything about it in terms of its design. It doesn't say anything to me about with the good job they did with Saints, and for me a slightly lesser extent with the Halliwell Jones. I just think the JJB or whatever you want to call it, as it always will be to me, it never endeared itself to me at all.
Stadium has a little bit of a more style to it, a little bit. Warrington, as the years have developed, they've made that place much more of a home. With some of the additions, the statue outside, some of the sign-in, some of the stuff that they put inside the stadium, made it much more of a home. Whereas, with it being a dual-purpose stadium, us now being the tenants, the renters, the whatever, it doesn't have that home feel. And I think a lot of Wiganers really do miss Central Park. I'm not from Wigan. I don't live in Wigan. I just support the team that plays in that town. So. And I only went to Central Park a couple of times. It was sort of before I really started getting into the sport. So I don't have that same longing for that stadium. And I love the new stadium as a place where I've seen so many memories happen. But loads of things you said are totally right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Other grounds, he says. The Keepmo, almost perfect ground, nice size, good facilities, plus we always win there.
Yeah, true.
That was a fantastic game, wasn't it? That semi-final we played you out there, even though you won.
Yep, it was great.
Griffin Park.
So was when we beat Leeds the year after.
Yeah, and it's like not too far away for Hull.
It's a really nice little ground. Do you know what I mean? It's the right sort of size.
Yeah, it's the right sort of size. I would have liked it if one of the ends was standing, maybe, or something like that, but you can't have everything.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, it's a football stadium, isn't it? So it needs to be all-seater for playing in the professional leagues of football. Griffin Park, a pub crawl around the ground forsaken for the plastic ealing. I mean, via the Twickenham Stoop and the Hive in Barnet. I don't think it was forsaken. I think it was kind of like they couldn't be there anymore for whatever reason. But it's. But
that doesn't tell the narrative as well, does it?
If Tim was here, he could talk long and hard about Griffin Park because he's a Brentford season ticket holder. And then finally, Always in Our Shadow says the Boulevard, always the spiritual home.
Yeah.
We've kind of covered everything, I think, guys, because we've talked about all our teams' home stadiums as well. I don't know if you had anything else, Sarah, to add on for your favourite away grounds that we haven't already talked about.
Not Castleford anymore.
No, you had a kind of shitty experience with a couple of the locals, didn't you, last year, which we talked about, which wasn't pleasant. So.
Yeah. And, I think we've got, are we going to demand clubs actually come up to standard, or are we not? Let's talk about licensing and what have you.
It's an interesting one in that particular point of conversation, because they're another place, what was falling down, weren't it? The wall on the back of the Weldon Road stand fell down, about 4 years ago, whenever it was.
Yep.
So, and it's never been properly fixed. And there's parts of that stadium that really do look like they aren't, like you say, so up to standard. But surely it wouldn't cost too much to put a stand along that side where the back alley is. That's kind of similar to maybe one of the stands at the ends of, a similar kind of makeup of the stands at the end of Salford. A small stand that can run the length of that, or the stands that they had at the Hive where London played for a year. They were small stands. They were. Do you know what I mean? Is it beyond the realms of possibility and affordability to put a stand that looks kind of not like it's going to fall down, made with modern materials across the side and across where the covered stands are now? And then do you think that?
Well, and they need to sort the looks out and
do you think
things
doing
like
little things like that would take away the essence of Weldon Road? I don't think it would ruin the atmosphere side that everyone's talked about, has it?
No, because you could keep the same proximity to the pitch and everything else.
Keep the little fence.
The toilet. The toilets aren't, that really. They don't really affect the atmosphere.
Right.
I think
They do when you.
I think if you're looking for an
they do when you've stood in the
example,
puddle and you have to go. You have to spend the second half with a wet foot.
At Leeds, isn't it? It's just you don't know what the water is at Leeds.
the thing is, if you're looking for an example, Houston, who've done exactly that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Houston hasn't changed Post Office Road
It's
or
still got
whatever you
enough
want to
bits
call
of
it.
the old.
It's still the same.
Makes it have that feel. Yeah.
Yeah. But in their budget, they've actually developed it, and one end has got a good stand, and it's a better stadium than both Wakey and Cass, frankly.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's entirely possible.
I think the Castleford are holding out, aren't they, for a new super stadium somewhere, and therefore they don't want to put Weldon Road. But actually, is it ever going to happen?
I don't think it
It's
should
never
happen.
going to happen
I think
now.
Exactly.
So why not develop what they've done? I mean, as much I criticise Rovers and all the rest, they have put that stand up.
Yeah, incremental development of.
Yeah, one day they might shut the wind tunnel off. You never know.
Yeah, I mean,
Was there any other grounds you wanted to mention, Al?
The only thing I wanted to say, we've talked about Huddersfield, but it always has special because of semi-finals and because we won 3 World Club Championships there. It was full, so a full, is right up there as one of my favourite stadiums. But yeah, when it's empty, it's a
We're ready
sad
for the
place.
quiz then.
Yeah,
Never.
let's go.
Have you managed to find a pen and paper page?
No, I've got paper. He takes all the pens all the time.
Allocating notes and has left me a pen and paper. I don't know how
Okay.
to switch it on.
Are we
Hang on.
teaming up, Tom?
Are we competing?
I think
You've
it
got
would
to
be.
Okay. I'll use the notes on my phone.
So what I've got is 6 questions. Well, it's more like 6 topics because each question has then got a secondary, like an A and a B. Well, 3 parts to each question, basically. So, we'll do each question at a time. Write down your answers, then we'll go through the answers for each one.
Right.
So, question 1: which stadium has hosted the most Super League matches? And then part A to that question is, what year did it first host a Super League game? So far, if you've got either of them right, you're going to get a point. But on this last one, the closest of you guys to this figure wins the point. Okay, so the final part to this round is, how many games has it hosted in Super League? The closest wins. So we're ready for the answers on that round?
No.
Do you want any questions
Wait a
again?
minute.
Or does Sarah want more time to Google?
No. I'm just. How many Super League have we had?
Well, he can't tell you that.
Well, if you listen to Super League, apparently it's 25 years old, but we're in the 25th season.
Right, I've got.
Okay. So, which stadium has hosted the most Super League matches? Everyone want to shout out the answers?
Headingley.
We've all got Headingley.
Headingley.
Fantastic. That's 1 point to everyone. Which year did it first host a Super League game?
96.
96.
96.
It was 96. It wasn't a trick question. It was just the first year of Super League. And then, who's going to get this one? So I'll go around you in order. I'll start with Paige. How many games?
No, don't start me. I didn't get an
I'll
answer.
start with
for this
Alan.
one.
How many games do you think it's hosted in the Super League?
I'll guess I've gone for 350.
Sarah?
297.
Tom?
I think it's about 630.
Paige?
I'm going to go with 200 and...
It's 343.
Oh,
my
well
God.
done, Alan.
Well done, Alan.
Thank
Indeed,
you.
yeah. And Tom, that's ridiculous.
Were you working out her underwear
It wasn't how
matches,
many
Tommy,
games
this
have played
season?
in Super League.
Cup games.
Okay, round 2. What year was the first Wembley Challenge Cup final held in? And then the first bonus question to that is, which side won that final? And then the closest wins